And now for Game 3 of the set between KTF and SKT T1 in the Winners League of last week. This is going to be a game between Best and 815. KTF's top Zerg Luxury played the first two games, beat Bisu Game 1, and then lost to Best Game 2. And now KTF is sending out probably their next best Zerg, 815, who's a competent player, was sort of thought of as a big up-and-comer last year, and hasn't quite reached the top level yet, but respectable record. He is 50% ZVP at the moment. Best is obviously one of the best players out there, has been doing very well for a while, but PvZ is not really his strong suit. He's certainly good at PvZ, more than competent, about 54%, but that's as compared to something like 76% in PvP and 65% in PvT. So this is probably not his most comfortable matchup. At the same time, more experienced, better record overall than his opponent in this particular game. So probably the favorite to take another one for SKT. Right now things obviously tied up 1-1, so probably a fairly significant advantage to whichever team can take this game. And this is going to be on Andromeda, I think, is the map. So, a decent, fairly well-balanced map. Not too much to remark on. It has that internal mineral only at the top of the ramp, leading into the natural that players can claim. Pretty good map for standard Forge Fast Expand, also for a standard 12 hatch into any sort of tech build for Zerg. So I expect we'll see relatively standard play here. In the first game of the set, we saw Luxury go for a 5-pool against Bisu, but actually, even though he failed with the 5-pool, he was able to transition into a standard macro build pretty quickly without losing too much. So, Zergs can sort of take those risks early on without losing too much, but I think 815 will probably try to play it standard here, and the little SK mascot is doing what definitely looks like a slit-your-throat move. I don't know if that's what it's intended to be, but at any rate, 815's there in the bottom right in orange, and Best is at the top right, and the KTF mascot now is doing a little dance. And the KTF coach looks embarrassed to be in the same shot. Looks like it is going to be a 12 hatch. And should see Forge or Nexus going down pretty quickly for Best, depending on how daring he's being. And he's going to play cautious and put down the Forge, which is probably the right move because he hasn't scouted yet. He'll see that 12 hatch in a second and probably put down the Nexus very quickly before putting down any cannons or gateway. Does see the hatchery now. So, sending probe out for something, but I don't think he'll put down cannons. Nothing too particularly interesting to report on right now. Like I said in the first game of the set, I haven't done any commentaries for a little while because my computer crashed and I had to reinstall Windows and then reinstall audio drivers that didn't install correctly. These mascots definitely look like they're having fun. That'd sort of be a good job to be a SKT mascot and just get to watch all the games for free and do little fun dances and not have to be embarrassed because nobody knows who you actually are. Yes, standard gas going down now for 815, so he is going to go for some sort of tech. Like I was saying though, back to commentating now, brushing some of the rust off, and hopefully I'll be able to get a bunch of commentaries out today and over the next few days before school really starts up and kicks me in the ass and I have to pay more attention to that. But like I also said, Commentator Idol contest is just starting up, and I'm very happy to say I made it into the top 6 with some with a lot of very good submissions. So congratulations to all the other people who I'm competing against. And if you, by the time you see this, there probably will also be uploaded the game between Luxury and FireBatHero that I'm submitting as my first week's entry in the contest. So go and watch that, and if you like it, go to SC2GG and vote for it. Still not too much to say. Both players playing very standard. We'll probably see 815 claim the mineral only. Oh, just has claimed the mineral only. You can see that little expanding patch of light on the minimap as the hatchery comes in. So both players just getting their tech up and allowing each other to go for their intended builds. We may see some Sayer Reaver from Best. This is a pretty good map for it, especially with those 3 bases that can be easily taken and relatively easy to hold choke on the natural. So that would be interesting. I've said before that I'd love to see a well-executed Sayer Reaver build, especially the sort of all-in Sayer Reaver into carrier, which we see every so often in probably 1 PVZ out of 100. Probably won't see it here, but we still haven't seen what tech Best is going other than that Stargate, which is pretty much part of any Protoss tech route these days. It's a little bit odd that Best hasn't put down another tech building yet. We'll see whether that indicates anything. Spire going down now for 815. And 815 actually is putting down a 4th hatchery, so going to get 4 bases very quickly and try to beat Best at the macro game. Robotics facility is going down now, so we probably will see some Sayer Reaver. So that should be fun. Hydralisk Den going down with the Spire, so maybe something like 5-hatch Hydras. With that amount of economy, actually, he could even put down more hatcheries. Evolution Chamber going down now, so he's going to get early round upgrades down. And that Corsair is going to see what's going on, so Best is going to know that this is coming, and we'll see whether that Corsair gets far enough to see that base over at the bottom left for 815. If he doesn't, Best might be a little bit on the back foot because he's not going to realize that 815 has so much economy going up. It probably won't make a huge difference to Best's play, though, because Best doesn't have the ground forces at this point to really press out and try to do any damage to that new base. Second Corsair out, going to take down another Overlord. But Scourge are now out, so the Corsairs aren't going to be that effective from this point on. Second Overlord does go down. Best has a very nice little front door setup, so no bust-in is going to be that successful at the moment, I don't think. But a lot of Hydras could be produced pretty quickly. Best has now seen that base in the bottom left. So he knows that he's up against a lot of economy. I think he'll probably try to put down that 3rd Nexus relatively soon to recoup this disadvantage. And Robotics Support Bay is going down, so we are going to see Sayer Reavers. Oh, and Mutas are now out. Wow. I guess the observers didn't notice those, but I guess Best didn't notice them either. And the Mutas are killing a lot of probes. Wow. Very smart tech choice by 815. 815 is now doing a lot of damage. More Scourge coming in to chase those Corsairs away. And Best just